Jagex recently added a grace period on 120 Necromancy to get your Completionist cape back, and now you only have to get 99 and all the other achievements. And I don't think that's a good thing, and it especially exposes bigger issues with the Completionist cape, and I don't like it. So, let's talk about it. Yo, what's going on guys? My name's Chevalric, and today I want to be talking about the recent changes made to the Completionist cape regarding the addition of a grace period and the bigger picture that kinda is exposed with this update when it comes to the Completionist cape and the confusion surrounding it. Because in my opinion, the Completionist cape and Trim Completionist cape are a mess to begin with, and I made videos about it in the past, but especially now with Necromancy being added, I think it just kind of exposes the issue more, and the fact that Jagex probably has no clue what they're doing regarding the cape, or at least are just as confused as we are. And I want to keep this constructive, and I definitely want to keep this civil, because Jagex has been openly communicating with us about everything, and I want to give this as a piece of feedback, and I would just want to do this in a nice manner, instead of just bashing them. So I expect you guys to do the same in the comment section, because I want to hear from you. Leave a like in this video if you do enjoy it, subscribe if you're new, there's a lot more Necromancy content coming in the future. I'm live on Twitch every single day at 7 PM European time, that's 5 PM game time, and whatever that works out in your time zone. And let's just get into the video. If you are not a comp player watching this video, you might think, Chev, what is the issue? What is going on? You can get your cape back earlier. Shouldn't you be happy? Is that exactly what you want? Didn't you get the cape to, get it and wear it, and now you can wear it earlier? And yes, in a way so, but I think there's a bigger issue at play. But let me quickly explain what a grace period is for anyone who happens to not know what it is. A grace period is mainly a period of time where you don't have to get a certain requirement, and as long as you have all the other requirements, you will get your cape back. And I think grace periods in general are not a bad thing, but should only be reserved for one specific piece of content, and that is time-gated content. I think there should be a period where you will remain having your cape when there is a piece of content that you cannot grind out. Something that comes to mind is Porch. You cannot just grind out Porch, you have to wait because it's time-gated piece of content. And I don't think you should be punished by losing your Completionist cape, Trim Completionist cape, whatever it might be, if you cannot actually grind out that content. However, Necromancy, especially 120 Necromancy, it's not the case. 120 Necromancy, you just have to grind out. And I mean, people already got it. And I think it's a bit strange that, you get this cape that represents you completing the game to a certain extent. Because let's be honest, that's what Completionist cape is. And Trim Completionist cape is more detailed completion of the game. But you get this cape where it shows you completed the game. But then when people examine you, they see you have like 99 Necromancy or 100 Necromancy or whatever. Because that's currently the case. Right now, if you do all the achievements that are listed and get your max cape back, that is when you get your Completionist cape back, due to the time period or the grace period being added to the cape of the Completionist so that you can get it back earlier. And I just think that that's just not the way to do it. As I said, I don't think a grace period should ever be added to something that you can grind out, because the whole idea of a Completionist cape is that you grind for it. It's a status symbol. You've worked towards it. And, 120 Necromancy is something you can work towards. It's not something you have to wait for. You can just log in right now and get the levels. And I think it was really cool seeing all the people without the Completionist capes just chilling and just wearing their own capes and not seeing Completionist capes everywhere. I think that's cool, but that's not the bigger picture. I think the bigger picture here is a bit more important, and that's the fact that I feel like Jagex is a bit confused on Completionist cape, Trim Completionist cape requirements, and what people expect from it, and the hard kind of lines that they need to draw in the sand when it comes to it. And the main thing that makes me say this is, I think that the requirements regarding Necromancy are actually been some of the best requirements regarding Completionist cape that made a lot of sense. For example, you need to learn all the upgrade tasks, you need to learn all the prayers, you need to do all the ritual ones, and you need to do all the quests and achievement diaries, etc. Those were already on it. Obviously, they've added on top of it. I think those are all actually perfect requirements. And I think that really gives you an overall comprehension of the skill, which, in my opinion, Completionist cape should do. It should give you an overall comprehension of the piece of content that you're doing. And then when you are doing Trim Completionist cape, you go into more detail. One of the Trim Completionist cape requirements, for example, is crafting both the tier 90 tank armor from scratch and the power armor. And I think that's a great example of something that's more trim and a bit more niche and more into detail. So why am I making such an issue out of 120? If you think about it logically, shouldn't 120s be a part of trimmed and just 99s of Completionist cape? in a way, maybe that is an argument maybe for something else. I don't think so. I think just it's been that way for a long time, and I know that's not a good argument, but every 120 has always been a part of Completionist. And when I talk about every 120, that's the actual skills that go to 120. So herblore, farming, dungeoneering, etc. Not just virtual levels. Should the max skiller, or whatever the cape is called, when you have 120 all, be part of Trim Completionist then? Well, maybe. I don't know. You could make an argument for it. I think it might actually, benefit the Trim Completionist in a way. And I think it would be cool to have it. But that is a discussion for a completely different video. So pretty much, when it comes to Necromancy, it's 120 is a requirement for comp, and it's been historically a requirement for comp, and everyone who had the comp cape knew that was going to be a requirement. So if you wanted your cape back, you should rush 120 Necromancy as quickly as you can to be able to get your Completionist cape back. But the issue now is that has been taken away, and you could make an argument, well, they did the same thing for Archeology, and I think that is weird, because if you look at this clip that I'm going to put in right now of the podcast or panel, whatever I did with the JMods when I was at Jagex, Micro mentioned the question regarding grace periods and said what it was for Archeology. So here's the clip.
There was also a 6 months grace period for Archeology related requirements to the Completionist cape, Trim Completionist cape, and Master Quest cape.
Wow. So you still needed 120?
Yeah, so 120 Archeology was part of the requirements that had a grace period, alongside completing all the mysteries and stuff like that. The only thing that didn't have a grace period was 99 and Max Cape. So you got your Max Cape back, and then you instantly got your Comp Cape back too.
I do not remember that.
That doesn't sound like us. That sounds like a decision we wouldn't have made.
Yeah, that's a very good point, because I just don't feel like we would have done that.
It's also in the middle as well, like at 99.
Yeah, I vividly remember.
Okay. I mean,
I don't think we were planning to do it this time.
We should go and look. But for what it's worth, I think that from a design point of view, I don't mind making every comp requirement except the leveling grace perioded. Because I feel like the leveling experience is about, like, when you see someone with a comp cape after a new skill release, you're like, damn, they've not completed the skill, but they've achieved like the maximum level in that skill, and that's a feel-good factor for both the person who's done it and the people around you. But everything else,
So when it came to Archeology, actually everything was grace period besides getting 99. So pretty much at 99, you got your comp cape back regardless of any of the achievements you have done. And then Ryan went on to say that, he wouldn't mind doing it, but the other way around, so that 120 wouldn't be a grace period thing, but all the other requirements would be, which I don't think makes sense at all. But it's crazy to think, obviously they can come back from the decisions, which is completely fine, and this was in May, so obviously a lot of things changed and they got feedback, etc, etc. But I don't think that this is the right decision. I don't think that this is something they should revert back, because, as I said, there's a bigger problem with Completionist anyway, where there's confusion about what will be grace period, what will not be grace period, what will be a requirement, what will not be a requirement. And right now, I feel like you're just making more confusion, especially if you're halfway through the actual gameplay, or whatever you want to call it. You're going to be changing it to have a grace period, where at the start it didn't have a grace period. I feel like you either have to go to, okay, new skill comes out, there's a full grace period on it, whatever you do, or you only have to get 99, make it clear from the start, right? Or you're not going to have any grace period at all, and you just say, okay, look, if you want your Completionist cape back, you have to get 120 and you have to do all the requirements, because quite frankly, if you would start a new account in the time period after the grace period, you'll have to do that anyway. So why should I be getting my status symbol, because let's be honest, it's all that a Completionist cape is, back because I got it before, compared to someone who needs to get it from scratch eventually, and they do have to get it? I don't think that is fair. And you could say, okay, that works for something like time-gated as well, but I think time-gated things are a bit different. I think that time-gated shouldn't even be in the game to begin with, but that's a topic for a whole different video as well. But pretty much, I think with time-gated stuff, if you have a comp cape, you lose it because of something that's out of your control. You cannot get it back instantly because it's something out of your control. Like, for example, ports can literally take months to complete, and there's nothing you can do about it, really. Obviously, there are some things you can do about it, I know that, but pretty much there's not much you can do about it. But something like 120 Necromancy, if you want to get it back as fast as possible, you just put in more hours and you can get it back, right? And I think there's a clear difference there, and it just confused me, and I just don't like it. And I think that they should not have a grace period on anything Necromancy. I think before this update, it was perfectly where it was at. And right now, I'm going to get my comp cape back either today or tomorrow as of me making this video. And it just feels a bit underwhelming because I was really looking forward to getting my cape back and feeling like an achievement again. And now it's just, oh yeah, I got 99, and because there's a grace period, I will get my cape back. Woo! Yeah, it just kind of took away the fun out of it for a little bit. But Necromancy is still a lot of fun, so it is what it is. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of it. It's just my ramble rant about it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, comment, and my name's Chevalric, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Stupid seagulls, shut up. Peace.